Welcome back. We've covered a lot of ground so far, from setting objectives to creating agreements. Now it's time to focus on the practical side, gathering the materials and managing the logistics necessary for your cannabis product testing. A successful testing session requires more than just good planning. It requires the right tools and resources to ensure everything runs smoothly. In this lesson, we'll cover what materials you need, how to organize them, and the logistics to think about before and during testing day. So let's jump in. Create a testing checklist, whether it be digital, physical, or some combination. It's critical because this keeps everyone on track and ensures no critical steps slip through the cracks. Your checklist should cover everything from pre-test preparations to post-test breakdown. So, first, the materials that you'll need: palate cleansing items, serving tools, recording sheets, feedback forms. Assign clear roles for handling the materials: material manager, product distribution, cleanup and resetting. Stay organized with your supplies. Order supplies early. Get fresh products and have them delivered as needed. Handle last-minute orders. Equipment for testing is in place. And final preparations are crucial: visiting the testing site, checking your supplies, preparing communication templates, and double checking the participants. So let's focus first on gathering materials and managing the logistics for the product testing. This sets you up for what we hope will be a seamless and successful experience for both you and the participants. So what you'll need: palate cleansing items. Use neutral items like plain water rather than crackers to cleanse your participants' palates between samples, and we'll go into why later. Serving tools: provide small plates, napkins, and unscented wipes. For edibles, consider disposable mini cups so that they don't fall off the plates. Recording sheets: use paper forms for participants to note feedback on taste, texture, and whatever else is important. Avoid any digital distractions by keeping it on paper. And additional feedback forms. If you have open-ended questions where you'd like to gather more qualitative data, have those available as well. Assign clear roles for handling the materials. So you might have a material manager, designate someone to manage the materials, refill the water, maintain cleanliness. Product distribution: decide if the products will be presented one by one or all at once. Especially if they're one by one, you're going to need to have someone in the session who can handle that. Cleanup and resetting: ensure that someone's designated to make sure that there's a fresh setup for each participant between the different tastings. Now, comfort enhances feedback quality, so do consider seating and comfort that provides ample space and sufficient room between participants so they're not on top of each other. You'll want signage and instructions so that there are clear ways to guide the participants from wherever they may be dropped off to the actual session. Sometimes, for example, a cannabis lounge may be in the back behind a dispensary, or some other reason that you're going to need some signage. Safety materials: provide masks and gloves for people handling product as necessary. And for transportation and parking, you're going to want to offer clear directions and information. Presumably, people are taking Ubers or public transportation, but in the event that you're testing something where they are parking, obviously, make sure to be specific. Stay organized with your supplies. Order supplies early. Account for shipping delays or order backlogs or anything else that can go wrong. And in terms of fresh products and delivery, coordinate delivery of perishables just before testing. Also, if you're serving a meal, you're going to want to have those ordered to time early enough to get there that they arrive before the participants are there, but not where it's risking being late and people are wondering where the food is. Handling last-minute orders: always good to have local suppliers or even Instacart ready for emergencies. I had a study where the ventilation wasn't good enough and had to have Instacart bring us some fans from Target. Stuff happens. be sure to have something in place to make it work out. And of course, equipment and supplies for testing. You're going to want to make sure that if you have special equipment, even the video recording, that it is tested before the group. Now, before the final day, you're going to want to visit the testing site, ensure that everything is set up correctly the day before. If it's not practical to have everything set up the day before, at least go and check it out so that you can know how to quickly and systematically get in there in an efficient way. Some testing places might charge you for using the site the day before, for instance. It's worth considering this as an option to make sure that everything goes smoothly on the day. Again, this idea that don't skimp on an expense that could backfire and cost you more in the long run. Check your supplies. You want to make sure you have materials for all participants. For instance, with handouts, if you're testing 4 products, you're going to need 4 handouts there, plus whatever other papers that you want. So keep in mind not just the number of participants, but also the number of products. Prepare communication templates ahead of time. Be ready with reminders, whether they be via email or text, so that the person who's coordinating, yet making sure the participants arrive on time, has everything at his or her fingertips. And double check the participant lists and how they're going in terms of getting there so that you can fill in any gaps or manage expectations properly. Having the right materials and logistics in place is really the key to a successful testing day. So now let's focus on the practical side, gathering the materials and managing the logistics. So, materials you'll need. Each item plays a role in creating as seamless and comfortable an experience for your participants as you can while you're gathering meaningful feedback. So, essential items include palate cleansing items. One of the most important aspects of taste testing is to ensure that participants have a neutral palate between samples. While crackers are a popular choice, serious sensory tasters say this is a myth and they're not necessary, plus they can leave grittiness or residue in your mouth. The key is to use something neutral that can effectively cleanse the palate. Water works well depending on personal preference. Just refresh the taste buds so participants can give accurate feedback on that particular product. The goal is to remove lingering flavors to enhance the tasting experience. Also, make sure to provide plain water at all times, preferably at room temperature, so participants can drink as needed during the session. For serving tools, that'll depend on what you're serving. This could be very small disposable paper plates, napkins, unscented wipes. Strong fragrances can interfere with participants' ability to accurately taste and smell products. So that's why we recommend wipes that are unscented as opposed to with lavender or pine or anything else. If you're serving edibles or other consumables, disposable items like mini cups can help streamline the process because sometimes those can fall off a plate. And of course, the recording sheets and feedback forms, as we discussed, just paper sheets, and make sure you have plenty, as well as some extras beyond what number you're expecting. Having these essential materials on hand, you'll minimize the likelihood of preventable chaos on the day of your session. There will likely be things that go wrong, so do what you can to mitigate the problems that are preventable. That's all for now. See you in the next lesson.